on! Football!
Gentlemen, today is a special day here on the O-Line Committee on this film review. It's a Tyron Smith Appreciation Day.
Yes.
In which so the Cowboys came out, they beat the crap out of the Carolina Panthers, as was expected. Phil Mackey,
everyone.
Jeremiah Sirles, Alex Boone. This is the O-Line Committee. We get to sit down with two former NFL offensive linemen and break down film. And oftentimes we'll go through, like, it's mostly like, hey, this team played this team and did this thing. Today we're going to focus on one player. I grabbed like a bunch of clips of Tyron Smith, longtime left and right tackle for the Cowboys, was the highest graded offensive lineman in the NFL according to PFF this last week. Let's just look and watch, and you guys can tell us what you're seeing from this beast of a human being.
Before we go into this, I think it's important that this is probably the first time we've ever done a tribute to any one player. I think it's very fitting, being that he's played 13 years and he's been the most stalwart left tackle in the NFL. That's probably the most underrated, not talked about enough. Like, we always talked about guys like Joe Thomas and guys like that were just dominant for years. He's one of those guys that he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's phenomenal. I think that when he switched sides and was willing to play right tackle, it showed so much more of a player to me, because like, as the fans can see it, they're like, wow, he's a great player. But for me, it's like, yeah, there are a lot of great players, but the fact that he was unselfish enough to be like, yeah, I'll play right tackle, sure, why not? Like, I'm sure it didn't go down that smooth, but the fact that he did it and he still played really well, and the fact that he has been a technician for all 13 years, and I know people probably don't know what that means, but being a technician in the NFL is one of the guys that he sets the exact same way every single time.
Yes.
He never, ever gets away from what he knows. He throws his hands perfectly. He always has them in the right spot. He always takes the right kick. Like, he is one of these guys that is detail-oriented. He is the opposite of Trent Williams. Trent Williams is one of those freak show athletes that can get out there and just murder you. And it's like, Trent, you having a good day, bud? You having fun? Don't kill anybody. Whereas when you talk to Tyron, he's like, hey, my foot probably wasn't where it should have been. I'll get it in place. Like, it's just the exact opposite. But when you talk about doing that, it's such a high level for 13 years in the NFL. Phenomenal and super underrated.
Yeah, and we'll see it on the tape. He's the best independent hand puncher in the NFL.
By far.
We'll break that down, what that means. But he is the best independent hand puncher in the NFL. And also, he does what we tell guys all the time. He makes the defensive lineman play him. He doesn't play the defensive lineman. Right?
Correct.
What I mean by that is, like Boone said, he has his set, and he goes, listen, I know where my spot's going to be, and I know where I'm going to get there. And it's going to be your job to get past me. Instead of so many guys go, man, this guy's a spin rusher, or this guy's a speed rusher, he's a power rusher, so I'm going to change my set to XYZ this week, or I'm going to try this, or I'm going to try that. He doesn't care. He goes, you get to play me. You get to know that I'm going to be right here on this spot. Good luck.
Because I know where my quarterback's going to be, and he's going to be right behind me. Like, this is, and for years I used to watch Tyron one-hand punch people and just destroy. When he used to play Washington, when they had Kerrigan and all those dudes, he used to one-hand them and destroy. It was so fun to watch because he was one of the guys that week in and week out did it perfectly.
So this isn't going to be, when we broke down the 49ers offense, and it's like, it's flashy, it's direction and all this stuff. And we're going to literally break down the technique of a left tackle here. It's fascinating. And you guys are going to, I'm just watching from a fan perspective, but it was one of the more like boringly incredible performances I've ever, like, he just put dudes to sleep the entire game. So let's just run some of these.
If you could build a left tackle, by the way, if you were in a lab and you could build a left tackle, it would be Tyron Smith.
Dude,
long arms, powerful lower body.
Look at that.
Like,
he just like engulfs you and is like, where do you think you're going? Like, I guarantee you the thought process of that Carolina player was like, I made a mistake. I quickly made a mistake. But watch, go back real quick. This is how we watch film with the guys in the gym, and we'll break down guys in front of them and show them. One of the things I love about Tyron is his stance. It is so beautiful. To me, this is one of the most perfect stances that you could have, right? Like, he's got just enough of a stance or a stagger, but at the same time, he has his eyes up and his butt down. He can get out. He is not passive in any way. He is completely active in his stance. And you can tell because when the ball is snapped, the first movement that goes is that front leg to kick him out. Watch this. Pause. See how that first movement was just of him? And basically what you do is you're getting yourself off the ground in the same exact stance. So he is extremely efficient in how he kicks out. But see how right here he's dragging and he has that left hand ready to go. He's not turning. He's sitting and waiting. He sees a bull rush coming and he thinks, dude, I've seen a million of these coming. I'm just going to sit on this like it's nothing. And this is, to me, what is so awesome, is that in 13 years of playing, you can sit on a bull rush that sweet. Like, it doesn't even look like he's working at all. And that, to me, shows you that he is still in the prime of his life. Which is fire, dude, to be 13 years. Look at that. Same stance, same kick. Go back.
Just puts this dude
His
to
strike,
sleep.
by the way, was legendary.
This is the strike, right? This is the strike here where he knows he has a plan right now. Right now he goes, okay, tight. I'm going to take 2 kicks. I'm going to settle. Bang.
Boom.
Right? And the thing we talk about linemen falling out the window when they're strikes, right? You hear
so
strike,
balanced.
strike.
Go back.
Falling out the window is when you go to strike someone and your whole upper body goes with you, right? But because, again, he's so balanced in his set, he has a lot of weight on his inside, right? Bang. Right there. You don't see any hat lean. You don't see him falling out of the window. Like, it's all upper body, and it's just his arm strength that strikes him, and then he regathers and sits.
It's
right?
It's a
And then
lot
he
of
latches.
lats too. It's lats and core. When you strike someone, you squeeze your core. That way you don't get too far over yourself. You want everything to be composed and strong at the same time. And I'm telling you, this is a 13-year vet. We're pulling up rookies that don't look this good. And I know a lot of this comes with confidence, but even his ability to get off. Like, look at, he has the same exact get off every single time. He's consistent. He knows when the ball's going. He knows when he needs to go. He knows exactly where he needs to be in position. This is clinic tape, and you can still see the drive right out of his stance. Left hand, right hand, done.
Look at this leverage too. He's.
Yep.
I mean, how are you going to push that backwards?
You're not.
You don't. And then the great thing is, like, so many guys here, once they get to this position as no line, they think, oh gosh, okay, but
Look at
he's
this
able
guy.
to walk his hips back underneath him.
Chokehold. I love it. He just
Chokehold.
sits there like, what are we doing? We playing? We still playing? Dude, when
I mean,
you can have a
watch
guy
the
like
struggle here. This is just.
when you can have a left tackle that can play this clean and this effectively. Notice how the slide's going to the right. See how now we can take pressure off other people, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, because you can just leave him alone, right? I mean,
Exactly.
you leave him alone. Hey,
And Tyler Smith, number 73, we'd be remiss not to shout him out.
Oh, he's another.
You know, he's another up and comer that's going to be incredible. He's a first round pick out of Tulsa last year. You know, he played tackle, and he's one of the guys. Again, he's going to be one of the next great ones. But I mean, the ability for Trent,
Go back.
the ability for Tyron here to just continue to have his same set and the independent hands. Right, we're seeing where he's not throwing 2 hands all the time. He throws his left, then his right, his left, then his right.
that's Tyler, right?
Yeah, Tyler Smith's another phenomenal.
They got two
Cowboys
Ty
offensive
Ty
linemen.
Smiths standing next to each other. It makes
Yeah.
it kind of confusing.
Instead of the Bash brothers, the Smith brothers.
Yeah,
Dude.
the Bash Brothers, dude.
I'm telling you, watch this movement skill right here.
He reads TE. He feels it. Comes underneath. He feels slant.
Go back. See how he changed his set, though? Like Jay said, he could tell that defensive end was coming in. So now he doesn't jump off the ball. Instead, what does he do? He takes a nice little short
Settles.
step, says, I know you're going in here. I'm going to put hands on. We talked about this yesterday. What's the one thing that stops the penetrator? A punch. You have to punch the penetrator, or else you're not going to defeat the twist. This is a great job of Tyron going, oh, no. You're not going to come in here and destroy my guard. I'm going to stand you up, right? And I'm still going to recover enough to come around on this 3 technique and get him outside. Like these are plays that are just fun to watch because of his feet. He's always
he's
in
off
good
balance,
position.
boom, and then he gets just enough on this guy. He knows that the long looper coming around, you just have to get a hand on him, and he's not going to get to the quarterback. The ball should be gone. Wide rusher now, so I'm going to change my set a little bit. Get to my
See?
spot. Left.
Oh, one hand. One hand.
There it is!
There it is.
Oh, dude, that meat cleaver coming at you. Go
Dude,
back.
that is-
Go back. Go
That
back.
is just a thunder
I
punch
told you,
to
bro.
the teeth.
We used to watch this all the time.
Yep.
We used to pull up his tape and be like, just pull it up, just watch it. Our coaches
Pause
used
it
to
on.
love
Pause
it.
it on contact.
Right.
Bang. Right.
Look
like,
at that. Stop.
Look at the
Outside
length.
shoulder.
Look how
at the
balanced
length.
he is. Look how he's not leaning. See how he's still sitting back, but he's striking the living shit out of someone. He's still square. He can still pick up a twist. Like, these are all the things that make him a technician. That is what a technician would do. I am in perfect place. I throw my hands at the right time. I'm not afraid to throw them. I have confidence. This is what's going to make him a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Because even here, say this DN strikes that left hand. Say that is Tyron Smith's strength of he struck and he grabbed. So many guys think, oh, I'll strike, and then if he swipes my hand, I'll just replace it. No, if you get a hold of these dudes, grab onto them, right? And you can tell he has inside hand punch here, right? He is outside hand, but he's inside the defender's outside hand. So he's not going to get called for holding.
Yeah.
And as long as you can have that and you grip that, if they're trying to beat on that hand, good luck. If I've got a grip of your shoulder pads, it's not getting let go.
No. That's like one of the things, if I can get a hold of your shoulder pads by your chest plate, it's over. Go back. This is called a changeup. This is what I love. This guy rushing him thinks it's a pass. Tyron has, we've already talked about it, the same exact kick every time. Nothing looks different. And then when you think you're into him, he's just going to launch you up the field.
Now, the play gets blown up, obviously, on the other side of the line.
We're not going to talk about the other guys on the other side.
For sure.
Just talking, We're talking about the left side of the line, not the right. Even though we love Zach Martin. I love him to death. He's one of my favorites. Tyron Smith here. This is what makes it so fun. We have to be able to change things up. So this is a simple draw right here. I love the set. Defensive end's like, oh, I think I got something working. And then all of a sudden, at the same time, Tyron's like, no, this is my play to beat you up, right? Like, this is why it's fun sometimes to keep this technician. It looks the same. Defensive end's like, oh, I'm going to come humming up the field. And you're like, dude, it's a simple draw. I'm just going to smack you right on the side of the head. Dude, I'm telling you, guy is fun to watch. Twist.
Here's another. He just kind of muddies up that twist right there.
Defensive end can't pick or choose what he's doing.
And this is...
Same thing. Which way are they sliding? To the right? Just making sure. He's like, dude, I know I don't even need to come over here and help you guys.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Smith is on the ground this time, and Tyron's basically taking two. Right? Like, Tyler goes for the jump set here, right? He thinks, okay, I'm going to get the jump set. But because of his ability, we were actually just talking with a tackle about this last night, the straight vertical back protects you because when you're setting as a left tackle, a lot of times you're protecting yourself from another player's fuck up, right? If the left guard gets beat here, right, he gets completely beat. And if Tyron Smith flies out of there with not a vertical set in an obvious passing situation, he's getting picked. But because he understands of where the defensive tackle lineman is, right on his shoulder, I just set straight vertically. He doesn't even really have to move. He just kind of goes in there and he's like, okay, and then I'll just come back out here and hit this defensive end because he didn't commit to the twist because I shut it down immediately.
Yeah.
Right. Immediate shutdown. He's like, you can't go anywhere. He blocks two players on that play without even really doing anything besides just his initial set.
All right, just again for people here looking 77 here. If you need the party,
just the most dude built out of marble. God, the 77s never look cleaner. Look at this. Look at this. Get you some.
Look at that.
Dude,
just a massive. I mean, by the way, what do you think his body fat percentage is?
Oh, it's always been a strong low
teens. I
Dude,
mean, yeah,
he
I would
looks
say like
absolutely
12, 11.
He is
chiseled,
jacked.
you know?
He is jacked.
He's
been his
we
entire
refer to
career.
him as first off the bus, right? Like that's the dude when like the bus pulls up, you'd be like, "Hey, Tyron, you go first. Everyone's gonna look at you."
Yeah,
goes,
right.
Okay, right. Like you walk out there, arms 80 inches long, 6-pack, and just scary looking.
Elbow
like,
brace, just
that
makes you
double
look
elbow
even bigger.
braces.
God, you're really starting to scare a lot of people, dude.
And that's the other thing. He's been beat up in his career. He's had a lot of injuries, and his play has not diminished at all.
And I think that's what I respect about him is every time you put on his tape, it's always the same. He is truly a Hall of Famer. Look at this.
Yep, consistency.
Shutting down
here.
the twist before it even starts.
Yep,
Yeah,
before
I
it
mean,
even
this
begins.
is just. Yeah,
You throw a hand and you're like, no, dude, you're not going in here.
Again,
Stop.
vertical set. He's the king of the vertical set. Boom.
So
he has
there's
the
a-
See
field
that
hand.
inside
He's
hand
got
right
a- he's
there?
got
He's
a
not even
hand right
looking at
there.
him. See,
He's
he's
not.
not even looking at him. He's feeling his way in there. That's the biggest thing is sometimes these guys will look and like get fooled. He knows with his body presence where everyone's at. So he's just feeling with his inside hand, and he all he does is just slide his feet back inside. Doesn't bury his outside hand in there. He just slides his feet back inside. He is remarkable. And like I said, first ballot Hall of Famer and also like prototypical, everyone's looking for a Tyron Smith.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
so good.
we haven't done many of those, but hopefully that was enjoyable for Cowboys fans and anyone who loves
O-line
play. I need a
should watch
smoke
Tyron
after
Smith.
that, man.
Yeah.
Seriously. Hey, he would be a great person to watch because he is a technician.
Correct.
He is something that you can work on every day to get better at. And he is a lot of the stuff that he does is a lot of the stuff that we teach because it is perfectly done. He is phenomenal. He's a great player. Dude, I'm telling you right now, when you think, because I'm thinking back to like actually sitting in the meeting rooms watching him play Washington, and we were like, holy shit. Was that with one hand?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Just
Dude, is
I
he
can remember
crazy?
watching tape as a player. Like I can never
Remember
do
Trent
that.
Murphy? He used to murder Trent Murphy. Like,
Yeah.
it was just constant guys that would, like, line up against him, like, I'm going to get you. He'd be like, come here. Four fingers going sideways, like, come here. Flawless victory.
These meat hooks. Hey, take your crooked fingers and click the like button and the subscribe
Do it.
button here on the O-Line Committee YouTube channel if you enjoyed this breakdown of one of the great offensive linemen of our generation. And go tell an offensive line loving or football loving friend about the O-Line Committee with these film breakdowns. We'll see you next time.